Okay, everybody, this is chapter 3, section 2. We got one definition here at the top, and then just a reminder of how we solve inequalities or equations. Okay, so equivalent inequalities, if you could go ahead and write that down. This is kind of a common sense kind of a definition here, but we just want to make sure we state it. Equivalent inequalities are inequalities that have the same solutions. Okay, and you know, make sure, I'm going to go kind of quick, so make sure that you, if you feel like you're getting behind, just hit pause, get caught up on your notes, and then come on back. Okay. The addition subtraction property of an inequality is meaning that I can add or I can subtract something to each side of the inequality as long as it's the same thing. Okay, so it's just that all that's saying is you can solve equations like we've done at this point, but now it's an inequality. Well, I can play the same rules. Okay, all right. So basically, you know, all these are saying the same thing. So let's, instead of you having to write all that down, let's just go ahead and let's write this down here. And let me just kind of illustrate it with the inequality. Okay, so you know, basically the same thing that we've done before. I need to solve for the variable. In this case, it's x. So my inequality is x plus 4 is less than 2. Well, I got to solve for x. So remember to do that. I'm trying to isolate the x. I'm trying to get what's with it. In this case, it's a 4. So I'd want to subtract 4. I do the opposite from both sides. That's the subtraction property of inequality. I can do the same thing both sides. Okay, so basically, you know, here it's going to cancel that out, and I'm going to get x, and it's going to be less than, and I add these two together basically, and I get negative 2. Okay, so you know, that's what you've done before. You just need to reiterate those rules. Now that we're doing inequalities, just saying, hey, it's the same thing, just you got a different sign there now. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of go over this again too. I want to graph a lot of this stuff, so I'm gonna find, you know, number line with 0 on it. I'm gonna find my value. It's at negative 2, and I look at my sign. It's less than. It's not equal to. So if it's not equal to, it's an open circle at that value. And then remember, the symbol tells me which way to draw my line that shows the solution. So I draw it to the left, and there you go. Okay, so hopefully not too hard. Just got to make sure we remember a lot of our rules and figure that out. Okay, so why don't you guys go ahead and just write this inequality, draw a number line, put 0 on it, and you don't have to put the other numbers. Okay, and we're just going to solve this. So get x by itself. So I've got to get that negative 15 to the other side. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. Okay. They go away here. I get x. It's greater than, and negative 12 plus 15. You know, and you could turn that around. You could make it 15 minus 12. That, I think, is much easier. And that gets me 3. Okay. So I'm going to graph this now. I'm going to go find 3. So you're going to write a 3 on your number line. Okay. I'm going to put an open circle because it's just greater than. It's not equal to. And then greater than, you know, points to the right. So I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. Okay. Okay. So hopefully that's not too tough. You've been doing stuff like that before. And there's a different symbol in there, but the rules have stayed the same. And then I just got to graph it correctly. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna flip this around just because I like to. Make sure the sign gets flipped around too. Okay, so once you write down that inequality, you got a number line here. I'm gonna put a 0 on it. And I'm going to let you guys go ahead and solve that really quick and then graph it. Okay, so here I believe I add 3 and I get less than or equal to 13. Okay, so I'm going to find 13 on my graph. Okay, indicate the number 2. So when you draw these out, put the value down 2. I'm going to look at my symbol now. It's equal to, so that means a solid point, and it's pointing to the left, less than. So I'm going to draw an arrow and show that it's less than. Okay. Now, one other thing they asked us to do now is to check your solution. So I would strongly urge you to do that. I'm going to pick any number that's somewhere on that line. Remember, this line just kind of keeps on going forever. I usually pick 0. That's a pretty easy number. If it's included in that line, it's a pretty easy number to plug in. So I'm plugging in for x into the solution. I get this. Is 0 less than or equal to 13? Well, it's less than, so it's correct. Okay, so check yourselves. It's not, we did that in our head, took us 5 seconds, not that hard. Okay, work towards perfection. If you got that opportunity, use it. So go ahead and write down this inequality, and you'll go ahead and draw in a number line, and I'll let you guys solve this one also. But I need you to check it so you pick something. I'll just warn you, sometimes 0 is not on the line, and you're always trying to prove it's correct. So pick a number that would be on the line. Okay, now once again, I'm trying to go fast. If you're feeling like I'm going too fast, hit pause, do what you need to do, then hit play. I'm going to subtract 6 this time because I'm doing the opposite. They go way over here. You're left with x. -4 minus 6. Now, we've had some issues lately. When I have 2 negative numbers on adding or subtracting, I always get a bigger negative number. Okay, so it's like I'm adding these together. I know that 6 and 4 gives me 10, but it's going to be negative. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and find -10. I'm going to say it's right here. I'm looking at the symbol. It's not equal to, so that's an open circle, and the symbol is pointing to the right, so my line's going to go right. Okay. Pick a number on it. Well, it's covering 0, or it's good. At least, you know, you don't have to always draw these lines super long. Just make sure I can really see which direction it's going. So there you go. It's going there. Is it covering 0? No, but it's going to. Well, yeah, because it keeps on going. So I'm going to take 0 because it's easy. Is 0 greater than -10? And it is. Okay. On this one, you have a hard drive of a computer that has a capacity of 120 gigabytes. I've used 85 gigabytes. You want to save some more videos to your hard drive. Where the possible sizes of the video collection you can save. Okay. Well, first off, I think I'm just going to go ahead and subtract these. Okay. So when I subtract those, I believe I get 35. Okay. So in this particular question or statement, I want to use something that kind of relates to the problem as my variable. My variable here is the size of gigabytes that I have. So I'm going to use G. And what are the possible sizes of the video collection you can save? Well, I only got this much left, so could I save up to 35? I think I can. Could I save more than 35? Well, I can't because that's all I've got left. Could I save anything less than 35? Sure. I could do 5, I could do 10, I could do 20. So that's going to tell me I have 35 gigabytes that I could use or something less than that. Okay, so we've got to be really careful how you read these and be able to do those. Okay. All right. Okay, so that was it for this section. I hope that that was pretty straightforward. please make sure you get a hold of me if you got any questions, okay?